Oh, hush, little child. You're back on Quorators, America's favorite Quora-based podcast. You're here with Alex and Jeremy. Hello.
How's it going? Hush, little child.
Hush, little
6 a.m. on a Monday morning listening to Quorators, an explicit podcast.
There's thunder outside. Don't be afraid. We got a hell of a show for you this week. All the way from the Senses Working Overtime podcast, we have Man at Arms and Man About Town, David Cross. David?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming over.
You got it.
So as America's premier Quora-based podcast every week, and we did talk about this before, but we're just going to go on Quora and see what the average American is thinking about and up to every day. Have you spent any time on Quora?
I don't think so. I might have. I'm somewhat familiar with it. It's like Reddit, right?
Yeah.
It's similar, but worse.
Yeah, it's kind of worse.
Why is it worse?
I think
dumber.
structurally, so they take you can see the setup of the website is very much that someone said I want to make a Reddit but with Facebook attributes, and so on every single post there's a profile where the person says actively where they are working, their work history, and usually just like their address and stuff about them. So just
Why would that be important to people?
I don't know, but we like reading it. When someone says like a fetish that they have, and then we could see like they live in Oklahoma, it's like kind of funny to us.
So it's still they're asking questions and people are giving answers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like a forum,
Yeah.
I guess, where other people can chime in. Like, and does it devolve like so many of those like, fuck Monkey Man 6'3", he doesn't know what he's talking about.
A little bit, yeah.
There's a little bit of that. The main thing that makes it, I think, have a simpler style than Reddit is in Reddit, you'll ask a question and then you'll click on the question and it will explain more what they meant. And Quora does not have the second part. It just says like, is it okay? I'm afraid. And there's no more info. And you just tell them.
Wait, literally the question would be, is it okay? I'm afraid.
It might be.
I mean, I made that one up, but I think we have worse ones for you that we'll be doing.
Why would somebody go, why did you go on there? Out of curiosity.
Why did I go on there? Aside for using it as a content mill, which is admittedly, I'm going to admit that's like the main reason I'm on there. People end up there on Quora a lot because they're sick and they've searched something like, oh, if my throat hurts, does that mean I have COVID? And then some guy who like makes Barbie doll feet at a factory is like, you're dying. And you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, it'll be like a retired cop who's like, well, I've killed 10 people. And you're like, that's not relevant at all.
This is the main thing you need to prepare for is people not answering the initial question.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's not only a complete waste of time, but actually a lot of dangerous misinformation.
You get it.
And
You're totally caught up.
all right.
There's also like thousands of, like Christians trying to convert atheists by creating scenarios where you interact with a Christian baby who threatens to kill themselves unless you convert. So it'll be like,
wait, what?
It'll be like, imagine you're skydiving with a Christian baby, and the baby
wait.
says,
This is a hypothetical
Yes.
they're asking you to imagine.
Yeah.
But you're an atheist, so you're like, well, I don't.
Yeah, you're like, I don't care. But it's usually like a talking baby will be like, I will kill myself now. I'm not going to take out my parachute unless you convert. What do you do?
Then why don't you just humor these people and go, oh, I'll convert, and then let them be happy and then go on your way?
It's 50-50 on that.
Yeah, I mean, already you're skydiving with a baby, so you're an unhinged.
I mean, I do that anyway. I've probably gone.
And they do tell you not to.
Well, you got to smuggle it onto.
What's in that bag?
Yeah, well,
Nobody's checking bags.
The front part of the parachute, so you have the two parachutes. You have the main one, and then in the front you have the reserve emergency one. Take out that parachute, put in a baby. Then
I don't say this about all of our guests.
As a parachute,
but you are maybe our first guest who I could see maybe having actually been skydiving before.
I have. I've been skydiving.
You have, and that's why you know about the baby pouch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can't wait to go. But we're a little deep in here, and so we're gonna start with our first segment we do before we get into the quoras.
Do you think people are upset right now, going, "Get to the quora stuff"? What is this guy talking about?
They're upset about it.
I don't have time for this shit.
They're upset about it every
2
week.
minutes already. Get me a question.
Come on!
I need answers.
We of course have to start with our cynical ploy to attract new listeners on YouTube, and that is of course with our advice segment, tips for non-binary people, tips for them. Tips for them. That's wonderful. David, do you have any tips for non-binary people today?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so many. Definitely start with oat milk. Then if they don't have oat milk, ask if they have almond milk. If they don't, then you can go to regular milk. Try to keep it at 2%. If not, whole milk is fine in a pinch. Also, when you're going forward, start right foot, left foot. It doesn't matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Start with your right foot, then go to your left foot, and then proceed accordingly. But just don't start with your left foot. Start with your right foot.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then what you want to do is you want to straddle the bike and stand over it, and then you loosen the seat, and you get it up to where your knee is just bending. That's how far. So when you get to the pedal, you don't want your leg to be straight. You don't want it to be a 45-degree angle, just bending.
I could use this advice personally, the bike seat one. I get this wrong a lot, and you paid the price on your knees and on your little butt as well.
Yeah, well, that's just take the time, loosen the seat thing, raise it to where you are, to where you're comfortable, or you're just bending a little bit, and then you'll have a really nice ride.
I'll be editing this later, so I'll cut this out so I can have it for myself. But
you can have it for yourself, and then also share it with others.
Yeah,
it's not going to affect.
It's not just
It's not
for
going to
me.
affect whether you.
You're
are
not
able
even
to-
non-binary.
No, but it's also for non-binary people. But I might borrow it.
Okay.
My tip was going to be if there's a lightning storm and you're outside, you need to move away from the tallest object.
That's a good one.
We did a lot of earthquake facts last week, so I thought we
good
would
fact.
get lightning storms. You don't get as many on the East Coast. All right, well, those have been the tip segment, and we're ready to jump right into this thing. So we like to end and begin the show by asking a question to Quora to engage with the people in their home environment. And what was our question last week, Jeremy?
We asked Quora, could you honestly seduce and make love to Bigfoot?
Oh, hell no. Did we get any answers on those?
I think we only got answers from our listeners, so no.
That's fair enough. I guess we can just answer the question ourselves. Honestly, I don't think I could.
You personally?
I don't think I could personally
if
seduce
you could
Bigfoot.
find Bigfoot, do you think you could seduce Bigfoot?
I don't know Bigfoot's nature, and he may have amorous feelings towards me, but I wouldn't be able to rouse them.
Sure, yeah.
Right. Like sort of like a Bugs Bunny
You don't know what his
situation.
interests are.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about the guy.
So
People...
you're going for the male Bigfoot.
I guess so, yeah. In that scenario. Some people think Bigfoot's a woman. Our guest last week yelled at me for even suggesting that
he's a
Bigfoot
man.
could be a woman.
But
Well,
then-
there is no Bigfoot.
Fair enough.
I mean,
It's a divisive topic, to be sure, but if there were one, I don't think I could make him hard.
why don't you ask Quora if there's such a thing as Bigfoot?
We can do that at the end of the episode when we type up the question, but I think that we can stay on Bigfoot as a topic until we get the answers we're looking for. As a reminder to our listeners, if you are going to write in on our question, please be sure to put the word scrambled eggs somewhere in there, and that way we know you're a fucking fraud. You came from our show. You're not a real guy.
Okay, let's read some questions from other people.
We're ready to get into it. Today's theme is, and Jeremy picked this one, but I think it's really great. It's pushing the limit.
Oh, baby!
Sure.
Pushing the limit.
We kind of just find a bunch of questions and then we go, I don't know, pushing the limit.
You got to make them fit together. If you really,
So you're aggregating questions that you found and putting them into a little
Yeah, we're
envelope or something folder.
we're curating
Got it.
quoras.
Got it.
I mailed them
Curating.
to myself
Got
so
it.
I can prove that I thought of them before.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do
Okay.
it. Okay.
Shit to do. Come
We
on,
found
guys.
a bunch of parenting questions for you because we know your new special is about fatherhood.
Yep.
That's enough.
This is the quaranting segment.
Okay, so this question is, my daughter has been listening to female rap. What should I do?
Now, female rap, that's less popular than male rap. Is that correct? Is that wrong to say?
I think that's okay to say.
I wonder if that's the issue with this specific parenting question.
I think the fact that they say female shows a level of respect, and they're not sexist in a sense.
Right.
You know, it's not about that.
Approaching it as a biologist.
Yeah, anthropologist maybe. I mean, my advice is just, turn it up.
Let's get the jams going.
Yeah, I guess we don't know if this person is against it. They could be saying, like, how do I encourage female rap?
You got to show them the greats. Hey, pull out your old Missy Elliott tapes and tell them where it all came from.
I'm trying to see if there's
Well,
time.
let's go back to Sean.
You got to tell me because I don't know.
Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne Shante.
Is it Shante? Chantel? Roxanne.
I don't know.
We definitely know it's Roxanne.
UTFO did their. It's a great story.
Look, if this is your daughter, like you can really figure it out together with her.
Yeah.
You don't know, and
Could
she
be
doesn't know.
a journey
Unless
you
she's
go
2.
on. It's
Jeremy has pulled
Shantae.
up Roxanne Shante. Is maybe
With
one
an
of the
S.
hits you could start with.
Yeah. The whole story about going back and forth.
There's a movie, Roxanne, 2017.
Roxanne, I want to be your man.
Is this hitting with you?
Well, I'm not a daughter.
Do you like that?
So it doesn't matter what I
It
think.
has no legacy.
I can listen to female rap as much as I want.
Now, I'm assuming the answers on this are not racist at all.
Sure, there's one guy who says, depends on what female rap. If it's Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, you have a huge problem on your hands. I don't even know why that would be bad.
In what case?
What's
What's going to happen?
Because she's going to be blowing a lot. Of guys.
Oh, it's a sexual awakening.
Oh, I see.
But if she's listening to more like lo-fi, more like head banging rap, you may be okay.
There's no like female Lin-Manuel Miranda, I don't think, for this guy to imagine.
Is it a
his daughter.
shoegaze?
Shoegaze isn't even rap.
What do you? I don't know if there's any crossover. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Any other good answers?
Evie Prince, who lives in Detroit from 2003 to present, says, dude, it makes women feel confident and empowered. You could let her listen to it, or you can make her stop, get into an argument, and then she'll probably keep listening to it. Being a strict parent only causes your kids to lie more. You're welcome.
Honey. Thank you
That's
for
right.
saying that.
That guy's right. That guy's totally right.
And I see that she kind of has a sexual cartoon as her image.
I think it's Cleopatra from
Cleopatra.
Clone High.
A historical sex icon. What an exciting find.
I couldn't find the person who asked this question, unfortunately. I was trying to...
Right. Also, part of the way that the website's badly designed is not only will they show you answers to other questions in the middle of your thread, kind of throwing you off the trail, but the only way
How
to
would they
find...
do that?
The guy who owns Quora is also heavily invested in AI, and so they just like try stuff out on here and just let the robots run wild, and it has very chaotic results. But the other thing is you can't even find the person who wrote it unless you go to the thread
Question
history
line, yeah.
and scroll all the way down to the bottom and find the first input.
Right.
So if it's a popular thing, you may never know who asked, can my daughter listen to female rap?
Oh, now I'm figuring it out. Maybe she was just born or about to be born. He knows the sex of the baby and doesn't know if she can hear or not.
Oh,
She
I
might
see.
be deaf. She might be born deaf. Oh, that's what it's about.
It's like
He just got specific with the type of music and just saying music. in particular. Okay, that makes more sense.
So you think
raps
this
is a placeholder for music at large.
So you think the daughter is deaf?
I think this person who wrote that is worried that his daughter may be deaf. Maybe
Okay.
she's like, and again, he knows the sex of the baby, and maybe it's only 7 months just in the gestation period at this point. So that's what he's asking.
Post ultrasound
Right.
situation.
Got it.
They're just playing Cardi B up to his wife's pregnant belly.
In that case, I guess what you could do is be there for your wife.
I don't think they're married. I think
Okay.
they were they're gonna have the kid, and they've got a strong relationship, but they're just one of those couples are like, we don't need to get married. So
Right, yeah, like a David Bowie thing. Like you have a lifelong partner.
Famously like David Bowie.
Pretty much, yeah. When David Bowie's daughter,
I was gonna say like Iman, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go that way, yeah.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, I think. Well, this has been instructive from a parenting point of view.
I'm sorry. A half dozen is 6.
Really?
Yeah.
That
So when you
can't
say
be the
6 to
case.
1, half dozen of the other, it's like saying, it's like either or.
This is something I've just been saying it for years, so I've never really like looked into this. But
Because a half dozen is 6. So when you say 6 to 1,
how much is a dozen?
12.
Hang on.
No,
Are you joking?
this is like a bacon. Oh,
A baker's dozen
you're-
is 13.
I get them mixed up. I get them mixed up.
I don't know how much of this is a bit, but I'm into it. I've lost track of where we are.
22.
Half?
22.
Okay, cool.
It's 22. We must move on now because there's too many parents waiting.
Half of
for
a dozen is either 6
20,
or
21,
16.
20,
It is both.
29.
This is the thing is like, and I told you this before, but I do not like doing math on the show because it really highlights like a weakness I have. And I don't think of it that way because
Sure.
like I don't know, I was kind of like a
It's
STEM
17.
whiz.
Okay.
The number's changing a lot, guys.
18,
A lot. We're live
wait, 19,
on
20,
a recorded podcast.
That's right, we can't edit it.
21.
It'd be funny if we just cut the whole
Also,
bit.
that your iced coffee is slide, so there must be water. You don't want it to.
There's water underneath it. Yeah, put it on the ground. Jeremy knocked over a large glass of water before the show started, and I'm not letting him get away with it. He slapped David's water out of his
I
hand.
really did. I need it.
He's asserting
like I was
dominance.
Captain Falcon.
Well, we have more tips for parents here.
Okay, here's another question. Why do dads think it's okay to mash up full frontal hugs with their daughters?
So this question confused me.
What?
Why do dads think it's okay to mash up full frontal hugs with their daughters?
Mash up like a musical mashup? What does that mean?
I think like jam them, just keep doing them, mash them up.
What does that mean?
Unfortunately-
Is that
Seriously,
wrong? Like
is that-
that's what I thought that meant.
Oh, I thought it was like.
Oh, you mean wait? They're saying hug too.
I think they're saying
hard?
hug too hard. Your female.
Full
partner.
frontal, by the way.
Yeah, with your full
All
frontal,
the way front.
full frontal hugs.
And you know what? And this is a male
I
perspective.
can't believe that these are serious. I'm serious. I'm being serious here. This is so. At this point, we're making fun of people who are already making fun of it.
I don't think
think-
this one's a joke.
I don't
I'm
think
serious.
that's a joke. I don't know. I think people are creepy weirdos out there who are imagining scenarios with full frontal hugs or whatever.
There's
You
also,
think this is an incel?
I think it's either an incel or like I don't even know what. Just like I think
have a
everyone
theory.
is so scared of like
Hugs.
Like, well, I was gonna say like conservatives are all so scared of like the pedophile leagues
Oh,
that they're
sure.
like I don't know. They're like dads are out there being creeps.
There's LA sickos out there doing full frontal hugs, that is. My read on this was it was like a TikTok
question
teen who
person.
was like,
That's also
maybe like a young
possible.
woman who's like, dads are always full frontal hugging me when I'm live at the track.
Oh, that could have been written by the girl.
Yeah, that's
possible.
kind of
Yeah,
how
yeah.
I was seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kind
I thought
of
it was
just
like
as a grievance.
I thought it was like a, weird repressed Christian thing.
Sure.
That is also a possibility, and we'll never know which of these it is because again, there is no clarification of what the
Yeah, I'm
question.
trying to find just
What a
the
waste
name of the
time, this
person.
whole thing. I mean, this podcast.
No, yeah.
I don't think so. I learned a lot on the show. I
Podcast.
learned that shit about the how much a dozen is a moment ago. I just
Still
have
not
that.
clear. I'm still
That thing about the bike seat.
I don't know. I feel like any
23.
comedy podcast is probably a waste of time to some degree.
Oh yeah, in terms of like raw productivity, sure. If you could like be
But
learning
what
a
else
second
would we be
language.
doing at this point in our lives, in our 30s? We don't have skills.
I know, I've been learning Japanese for around
26.
4 years, and if I replaced all of the time I've spent listening to like
27.
Comedy Bang Bang or something, you're still on the dozen.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have brought it up again. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Trying to think of how many guys are in the Dirty Dozen.
Oh, that could be so
Could be
many.
so
dog.
many guys.
It could be. First of all, how many
Which of them are
guys?
clean?
How many dirty guys in a room before it's too many? That's my question.
Sounds like 13.
If one of them's a baker,
Full room. Full goddamn, yeah, nasty baker.
Old dirty dozen bastard.
He's always having you smell his finger, and then he makes you bread with it.
Classic.
My new character,
horny baker
the
character.
nasty baker.
Killing spree.
Really good stuff.
Hey, that killing spree from Halo.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't know if it's like this anymore. I moved out of the East Village 13 years ago. But remember when the Whole Foods first opened up on Houston?
Oh, yes.
So, and they would have you'd stand in line, and then they would go, register 4, and the voice would say, register 2, register
Oh, yes,
11.
I do remember that.
Register 18, for whatever reason, and I'm not making this up, the same guy, same voice, register 9, and then he'd go, register 18. And it always reminded me of the killing spree in Halo.
The Mortal Kombat guy's out of work.
Flawless victory.
We got some new sounds just for today. I've been waiting to shoot this baby off.
Register 18.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I got a new guy to do the cashier noises.
Alex is very excited about his new sound effects. Do you have sound
Yes.
effects on your podcast, David?
Nope.
You got
It's
get
a
'em.
nightmare. I don't remember where any of them are.
Yeah, we pressed the wrong one to last, so it is hard. It is hard work.
I'll tell you this, I didn't think
Well-
that was Zach De La Roca when I hit it.
I find them unnecessary because my podcast is informative and entertaining without.
Oh,
don't
I
need
see.
I don't
Not
have the crutch.
ours.
I don't have the crutch.
You don't
of
need
We
the
need the
cheap
crutch.
tricks.
FM radio.
I understand.
No, we got to do
Morning Zoo
voices.
crew.
We need the sounds.
I need
Anything to get us over an hour.
people.
tell them, butt.
Hit put your George W.
Read my lips.
Now I don't know when that's going to come up,
I
but
would have cut it off at read my lips.
Sure.
cut it off. Cut off the no new taxes.
I mean, as a performer though, you hear that pop. You hear that they're going
Yeah.
wild
Go
for
crazy.
that.
Yeah, and then he was one-term president because he raised their taxes,
He did, and so that maybe was an
which
error.
was the responsible thing to do, and people don't like responsibility.
It's a shame how sometimes life gets in the way like that. But you got to admit, when he was live on set and he was performing for that sold out show, presidential speech,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
that was the best move you could do, was to make something up that wasn't true later.
Yeah.
You find that in politics.
It's one of the big ones.
It's a pretty cool move. I would like to read some answers on the
Okay.
full frontal hugs because I think that we have an opportunity to learn here. This is from 4 years ago, by the way.
I was just going to say real quick on George H.W., which I'm realizing that I've heard you talk about it so many times just because there's a song I like a lot that uses a stand-up clip of yours as like the beginning of it. Just kind of
What is
it's
it?
an old Bomb the Music Industry song from like 15 years ago, but it's just like, I don't know, it's weird to think that like, not that I do, but like there's
Do they have an
people's
H.W. Bush
voices
concept
are out there.
album or
What's that?
something?
No, they just have a song where they have a David Cross George H.W. bit at the beginning.
All right.
It's my
What-
Desert Storm track.
God, I don't even know that I did any.
I think it was.
It
I
could
mean,
have been. It could have been George Bush the younger.
Maybe it was.
And
remember
what's the
being-
name of the group?
Bomb the Music Industry. I remember it being something about like, he's the head of the CIA and you're like rattling off.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
That was because he was. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Boy, that must be old. Old.
But so full of
I'm
soul.
old.
as
Register
well.
You
18.
could be in so many punk songs you don't know about.
That's true.
My wife told me this morning, you're the voice at the beginning of Check It Out, the Beastie Boys
Beastie
song.
Boys, yeah.
Because that does not sound like you even a little bit.
No,
I ran that back.
That's from Joe Frank. When I did a bunch of stuff with Joe Frank back in the day, and that was from.
Yeah, they chopped and screwed you up, David.
No, it's. I gave
You
him
sound
permission.
funky.
I totally gave him permission.
Yeah.
They
no,
asked.
I'm not implying they stole it.
Bomb the Music Industry stole it from an album.
And that's not right.
You could hear the like hissing of the like free trial on there as they're recording it on that album. So it's not like the whole thing is stolen.
In the middle, it goes preview.
It's just Jeff Rosenstock like playing an instrument into a
It
laptop.
actually says Getty Images.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry. Full frontal hugs.
Please, with daughters.
When my daughter was 30 seconds old, the doctor had what I thought was an odd thought. She told me to disrobe from the waist up and hold my daughter to the skin of my chest as fast as possible. Little did I know at the time this was called kangaroo care. I've held my daughter and my subsequent son their entire lives as closely as possible. It's just people saying they hug their kids.
Can I say kangaroo care sounds like a slur for this word?
It does.
It's the
We're not
K
going to
word.
that doctor and getting kangaroo care. This is the fruit of my loins. The implication from that answer is like,
Yeah.
why do I give my daughter full frontal hugs? I love her so much.
Sure, yeah, but it's a mean thing to say to your Australian dad.
Crikey.
You fucking kangaroo. I'm trying to find anything that's a weird answer. Most people are just like, you're weird and creepy.
Fatherhood is the greatest journey I've ever been on. Thank you for asking. Well, they did ask why.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why. Because they love you so much.
Some guy says, personally, I don't give full frontal hugs to my daughters. Just because of
Just
the
half frontal.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
A side hug.
Isn't it worse if it's behind the back?
Yeah, where are your hands going?
You're doing a lot of spooning. Okay, no, read the rest of this answer, please.
Just because of the fact that they have boobs, I don't want it pressing against my body, even if it's not sexual. It's uncomfortable to me and my daughters. I only hug my wife and sons like that. My daughters I hug, but it's more of a side hug.
And you can explain to your daughter, it's because you have boobs.
So I do think these are real
Don't
people.
wanna be weird.
Like, this guy is
Where does he
probably
work?
really thinking, like, you could probably convince this guy, though, not to even hug his son because it's, like, gay or something. Like,
Yeah,
that's the level.
The way it's written is like,
Just say,
pause,
Dad,
I don't hug
it's
my
about
daughter.
the nipples. It's not about how big the tit is.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go to be touching and then not even your wife in
No,
front of
yeah.
your children.
It's messed up.
I should stay in a box. And when you're around your children or wife, you should be in a cardboard box.
It's a good way to, like, not have to be a good parent. It's just like, I shouldn't even be
Hands
near
off.
this kid.
Hey, I'm not touching him.
You want me to help you with the kid? What are you, fucking pedophile?
I went nowhere near her.
Yeah, you gotta hire somebody to hug them for you.
Yeah, there we go. That's good
Honey,
work.
the hugger's here. Open the door downstairs. The hugger's here.
And thanks for coming over. The last guy was weird. You seem okay.
The last professional
My
hugger.
daughter's downstairs. Yeah.
People are giving away for free sometimes. I see it in signs.
Yeah.
Union Square often has amateur hug.
Amateur hugger.
People trying to cut their teeth out there.
Oh, there's somebody at the last couple months in Union Square that is doing like, oh God, it's big chalk circles, right? And it'll say something, and then the guy writes his like email or web address, and then with a registered trademark symbol. I'm not kidding. I'm not
So you
kidding.
can't use it.
So it's like, some dumb sophomore kind of phrase or whatever. Circle of optimism.
You
know,
can't own
whatever.
Circle of
I
Optimism.
swear to
No
God,
fucking
somebody's
way.
out there doing it, and it's been going on for a couple months, and they'll just you show up, and it's usually on days when the market is there, but it'll be like big circles with
He doesn't show up if there's not a crowd. He's here for business.
something, chill out area, and then whatever his fucking handle is or whatever, and then and then a registered trademark.
It's so funny to go up to strangers and be like, "Have a good day." By the way, I own that phrase. Don't use that phrase.
You cannot wish.
Or
somebody
as
good
you're
day.
walking away from a transaction, they're like, "Have a nice day," and you're like backing up and going, you owe me a dime.
They add up.
That's mine.
A lot of people say it.
All right, let's do another question.
There appeared to be some kind of watercolor painting at the end there, but I think it was unrelated.
Okay, this is our last parenting question.
Wait, I gotta look at this. Let's see.
Wait, what's up?
The painting's gone.
Oh,
Well,
You
I'm
moved
just
on.
looking at what it
me see.
is.
What
Where
Quora
was
looks
it?
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
this is what quora looks like. You have to immediately go to answers because it doesn't start with answers.
it will show
for
you
some reason.
unrelated answers
And then
first.
there's hundreds and hundreds of people. This is the
Oh,
painting
I see.
you're talking
Somebody
about.
just.
And that's a man.
Oh, it's just an
breastfeeding?
illustration of.
Oh, you know what we should say? Okay, if you're on the YouTube, I'll put the painting up there. Thomas Kane, who studied anthropology and mathematical physics, said, because that's totally normal between a father and daughter, and then has a image of what looks like a dying man breastfeeding
Yeah, it's the painting.
from a woman.
Roman Charity, 1612. A daughter lovingly breastfeeds her father in prison, who is sentenced to hunger death.
Now that is a bad situation to be in.
Which is normal as hell.
I hope to avoid it.
Full frontal.
I would at least hope to breastfeed from my wife. That's still bad.
She's not carrying milk.
By that point, I guess, because I'm at the end of my persecuted career in the Marquis de Lafayette's dungeons. But anyway, I think this next question will kind of get around to this other topic we've been talking about, which is
So I guess this is probably a question that I don't know. We'll decide if it's someone making a joke or not.
It could be a troll.
But the question is it legal to inject elephant tranquilizers into a baby in the name of Jesus Christ?
So the first answer is no.
I think probably not illegal.
In terms of legality, I would say no.
Yeah, it's probably against the law.
I think that's a made-up troll question.
It seems fake. And I won't abide it on my program.
I'm trying to see what the person who asked it is. It's from someone named Odd Duck.
Huh.
He's asked several questions.
And he has a lot of views. He's doing a lot better than our Quora account.
One of his other questions is, are you required to file income from Quora content views on your taxes? Maybe he's getting paid to do it.
Yeah. So it's like, how well am I doing? Let's say I'm getting some Quora income.
Is that a thing you can get?
I don't know. I know you can on Twitter now. Like if you have a check mark on Twitter, you can get paid for engagement, which is why now everyone is kind of just like being annoying and obnoxious for.
What is your
likes.
favorite way to get hurt?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like what's the most beautiful woman you've seen?
Well, there was like a tweet going around recently that was like, there's too much sex in movies or something, and everyone's yelling at him, and it's like that guy's just getting paid to say that.
That's for money.
Yeah.
Wow, just another reason not to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
The way the economy works now is unbelievable. It's mostly of how many people you made mad on Quora, as far as I can tell. But the fact that you would have to write it off, I mean, how many thousands of dollars is that before you qualify? You're a contract worker.
Yeah, sure. What's
the number you got to get over before the tax man gets involved?
I think it's either like $400 or $600 or something like that.
Sure,
I think I've
bad.
Definitely made not enough money from writing for things where I didn't have to tell anyone.
That's between you and God. Messed up. He wants you to do that to those babies, though.
I like this one answer from this guy, Paul Reed. It says, I'm pretty certain it isn't legal to inject elephant tranquilizers into any unrelated species of subsequently lesser size in the name of Jesus Christ. So there you go.
It does kind of imply that like elephant tranquilizers are for elephants legally, and I'm not sure that holds up.
There are 4 elephants, no?
I feel like we've talked about this on the show before, but I still can't believe that like when you're a vet, especially if you're in like a rural area, they're like, you're the doctor for cats. And also if I have a snake or an elephant.
When you're a vet all the way from your first sickness.
I don't think you could just bring an elephant.
They just get you a lab and you start cooking.
If you own a circus or something, you can't just like have an elephant, bring it to the
What
vet.
do you know? What do you know about owning a circus?
Sounds like it's
city
time
boy.
for one of your world famous.
Slam it. We have a tiger.
How about new?
There you go.
I own that.
As Mike Myers.
That's Alex. He said that.
Oh.
No, trust me, that's me. That's I did it.
How about new?
Yeah.
You can hear it. It's clear. It was appropriate for Jeremy, though. I think I kind of knocked him down a peg there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta watch this guy. He rides a little high sometimes.
I'll just read one more comment from this because on the flip side, someone says, I don't think so, but girl, you do you.
Hey,
So,
thanks
hey.
for writing in.
Self-love.
We love that.
Okay, let's do
Please.
our medical segment, Quora MD.
Now, welcome to Quora MD, the internet's top medical questions. David, as we were talking about before, Quora is kind of a medical resource for much of America when they're in a pinch. And you come across all kinds of strange maladies on there. What do we have today, Jeremy?
Yeah, Quora is becoming the number one doctor online. I feel like if there ever is truly like free healthcare in America, it'll ruin our podcast, which would be awful
for that
for
reason.
the country.
I pray it doesn't happen.
If we ever have socialized healthcare, it'll ruin Quora.
Now, I don't really have a doctor, but I still don't want this to occur.
Okay. This question is, what are the reasons to not suck your own dick? I can, but have a feeling I probably shouldn't.
First of all, you can. Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
I feel like you should.
I've heard the way to do this is not leaning down, but to kind of like reverse
go
fire
up.
it back.
Oh.
Yeah. But also at that point, it seems pretty uncomfortable to get in there.
I never would have considered that.
Yeah, the one bit of advice, and I can see why they asked this, is you don't want to come in your mouth without letting you know that
Sure.
you're going to come in your mouth.
Right,
First. The
but you can't
respectful,
talk.
nice thing to do is say, I'm about to come. Obviously, your mouth is full.
Right.
But you still would know, like, you you want to give a little heads up just in case you want to pull out of.
Right.
I agree with that.
And bust on your own face.
And that's traditional dinner
wherever.
etiquette, too. Already talking with your mouth full.
But always say to yourself, oh, you like that, huh? Always.
Yeah, I do.
So you feel that you should do it as long as you take the proper precautions.
Register 18.
Oh, sorry. I turned it down for the
spree.
music. Yeah, so one reason is because your mouth is going to be full. And this probably doesn't happen too much, I would worry about breaking my spine. Like in a fit of ecstasy, just shattering all of the vertebrae
Sure.
in my spine all at once.
Yeah. Unless we have a spotter who's pushing your legs down for you.
Push it. Yeah, like if you're going to suck your own dick in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get there.
Yeah.
Work it.
Yeah, what are those people called, like rabbits when in like track when they pace people and then they drop off because they're like not quite good enough? That's what I am for sucking my own dick.
Yeah, you weren't
I can get
quite at a
almost
pro
there.
level.
Yeah, but I can't quite. I'm like college level.
I've always said you suck your own dick like a college athlete.
Yeah, I could never go pro because I had an injury. I broke one of my balls.
It is one of those things where it's like, and this is a classic frat bro kind of thing to say, but like, if I could do it, bro, I'd be so good down there.
Oh yeah, you think you'd do a better job?
I know what I like. The phrasing of "I can, but I have a feeling I probably shouldn't" is really good. This is a top Quora question.
Okay, let's see. I first of all, I think you just should do it. But
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Christy 2B says, I can't think of a single reason not to. If you could, if you can do it, I could do it. I could get every inch of it in my mouth too, and would suck myself sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, and would swallow every drop of
inch?
my cum.
3 or 4 times a day.
So if you can, you're still flexible enough to do it. Sure. This is all one sentence. I sure would, because no one can suck your dick as good as you can, which is what Alex said.
That is what I said, and I stand by it. I hope you have a small penis if you're deep throating it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, every inch.
If you were like have a like pounder down there and you're sucking yourself off 3 times a day, don't click on the profile. There's nothing good here.
Sorry, yeah.
There's nothing good
I
here.
could probably find out. This guy lives in Alabama.
Oh, so we can visit.
Someone else says, what if you swallowed your own sperms? Could it harm your body?
Sperms. Plural. Plural.
More than one.
I like that this guy thinks that, like, I guess that either he thinks that swallowing your own sperm is specifically bad, or just like anybody who has swallowed cum is like sick now.
Yeah.
It's like magnets. It's like it repulses from you.
Sure, yeah.
Because it shouldn't be in there.
If it gets too close.
Whereas if you have a partner's sperm, that shoots
That's
into you.
allowed. Yeah, that's different.
That's allowed. Exactly.
Another person says, I can't think of a single reason not to suck my own dick.
So there's
No
an
one can
agreement
think of
on
a
this.
reason.
There's a quorum here.
Other than the fact that I simply can't do it. I'm too fat and my dick is too short.
Scrub. Get good.
Believe me when I tell you that if I could suck my own dick, it would be very difficult to get me to stop. So maybe that's the reason not to do it. It's just
I
you might
believe
get
it, pal.
severely addicted.
Yeah, stay on Quora then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're among
better
friends.
better use of your time.
I will say that I found this guy's name. The guy who asked this question is named David Myers. So
Huh.
if David's out there,
He has an associate's degree.
yeah, he's asking about what to do. He can suck his own dick. He says, here we are a year later, and I still haven't found a single reason not to suck my own dick. It sounds like he's like
The
narrating.
champ!
He sounds like he's at like the beginning of a Paul Schrader movie, writing in a diary.
Ever since
anything.
I was a kid, I wanted to suck my own dick. Long tracking shot to the bathroom.
Says, if anything, I've found more reasons to do it. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of free time on my hands. But seriously, I would save so much time and effort because I spend a lot of time searching for someone who will do it for me. So there you go.
That's a movement. We're starting a movement today. I can't believe this. I'm surprised so many people can.
Nobody has found a single reason.
There's not
The only reason people have is that they can't.
It's like an Airbud situation. There's nothing in the book about not sucking yourself off.
It is kind of like Air Bud.
It's pretty much the plot of Airbud.
I haven't seen it in a while. I'm pretty sure.
It is mostly fuzzy to me. Fuzzy, not unlike Airbud himself. Check out Airbud.
One guy says if you have an STD, you shouldn't do it, which I guess
you
is
go.
fair.
Because you can spread herpes to your mouth?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know who
I
else could suck their own dick? Jesus Christ.
That's right. Yeah.
Wish I had a trop for that. You know, we do got one more space in here. As of this fifth board, I'll have
Oh my
40
God.
sounds. I'll never find anything I'm looking for again.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Sure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That works.
That's the sound it makes when I blast. One guy says it might cause back problems later.
That's actually a pretty good point.
That's probably the most practical answer on that. Okay.
All right, let's read another one.
And you said you don't learn anything on here.
Yeah, I think it's an educational podcast, and that's why it's in that category.
Okay.
This question is it okay to pee in the bed when you stay in a hotel?
Now, David, you've stayed at a lot of hotels.
You ever pee in that bed?
You ever pee in the bed?
I will get 2 rooms just so I can pee in the bed in one room and then go back to sleep.
One dry, one wet.
Yeah.
That's a good system. Yeah, if you have the arrangements, sure.
Oh, geez. I just realized I could have saved so much fucking money by just getting 2 queen beds in 2 rooms. Oh, man, that is dumb.
It's too late now.
Yeah, so we're all learning stuff here.
Well, you're not done touring.
Kind of
now. You're just moving
True,
forward.
Yeah.
So hit that tips.
You
for
can
men.
pee in one bed and then leave that for your opener, and then they stay on that one. That way, you're kind of like paying off for both of them.
And then you got to,
This is also specifically for men, I guess.
This is a great moment.
Okay.
A good opportunity, I think, within the context of what we've been talking about, to mention that I have a big show in Central Park on August 8th, the summer stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you doing
August 8th.
Shakespeare?
Nope. But it's going to be me and a ton of other people. There's going to be Bob Odenkirk, Sarah Silverman, Fred Armisen, Sean Patton, Zach Zucker. I'm forgetting a couple, but it's going to be an amazing show. August 8th, Central Park, summer stage. Big, big thing. Then
The peeing question made you think of this?
Yeah, and then I'm going on tour starting in September, early-ish mid-September, shortly after my daughter goes back to school, and you can find out. It's going to be about 60 cities, and you can find out where and when I'm coming to your town if you go to officialdavidcross.com. All the
Whoa.
info's there.
That's all right. That was related to a tour. Yeah, I see the tie in there.
Okay.
That's say what you will. That's theater.
Yeah.
Do we have any answers on the question, Jeremy?
Have you ever worked in hospitality? Self-respect. Get out of the bed and leave yourself while you can. Someday this will be an issue when you age.
Okay, so doesn't really address whether it's okay or not.
One person says, I understand that this is literally a fetish for some people, but no, it's not okay. Is that a fetish, specifically peeing in bed?
People have a lot of pee-based fetishes.
And you can, the craziest shit you can make up.
Fair.
There's somebody
Yeah.
who's into that.
Who's got a peeing in
It's
bed?
called-
Rule 34.
Yeah.
It's called hotel core.
Rule 34.
Maybe it's even just like the having someone clean it up.
Flawless victory.
I love how loud this one is. Jesus Christ.
Well, combat. They know what they were doing.
Hey, they knew what they were doing back there. Seriously, though, you can't pee in these beds.
Yeah, I don't know.
What if that was the slogan or catchphrase for a hotel chain?
You cannot pee in these beds. Or the other way around, I
The
guess.
other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peeing free.
The hotel, you can pee in the bed.
Second best Western. You can pee in our beds.
Maybe just like a whole fetish hotel.
Yeah.
It's like, feel free. Go off.
Suck your own dick and then pee in the bed.
The triple tree.
We pay our hotel workers the most of anyone.
Yeah, it's like a co-op. It's a co-op of fetishists.
I worked for the Hotel Workers Union for a bit in college.
Thank you for
and
your service.
They would have to unionize that hotel specifically, the fetish
For
hotel.
sure, yeah. But working rights are they would be under threat if you were in a non-compensated pee hotel. There is some leeway for accidents. I'm seeing somewhere in these responses, but generally it seems like unless you're tipping heavily, which we did address, you should not pee in the beds.
I can't find it, but a lot of people are referencing apparently that someone wrote that it's okay to do because it saves water because you don't have to flush. Which I feel like
I
is
guess.
quite the justification.
Seems like a leap to me, but
It's good for the planet.
I
for
mean,
me to
dune rules,
piss
you're
myself.
losing your water.
That's true.
I think you'd lose more water and having to wash the sheets constantly.
Oh
that's
my
probably
God,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of holes in
If it's
that.
a 4-day stay, you got to wash the sheets every time, as opposed to just because I'm one of those guys. The do not disturb sign goes on the second I check in. It doesn't come off until I leave, even if I've been there for a week.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's on both rooms?
Just the one. The other room, I have my own sign that's
Sure.
I made it. Well, I had it designed through Etsy, but it's made. You know what I mean? It's like my own sign, and it says, "Come on in, shit the bed."
Please disturb.
Get funky in here. All right.
Si moleste.
Okay, do you want to do some religion ones?
Yeah, let's move on here. Okay, so we're going to change tack here, but we're still pushing the limit. And this is in our new segment, Core Religion. The Fates. God's Plan. What will come up today? Let's find out.
Okay, this question is boxing allowed in heaven?
Oh!
Do you think?
Loud. It's encouraged.
I'd hope so.
If this is your first night in heaven, you have to fight.
Yeah, it's bare knuckle too. It's old school, like 1800s kind of.
This is one of the rules about heaven is like, if you're enjoying it, it's up there, baby. It's up there. As long as you love dishing out some pain.
Yeah, but the other person has to also enjoy it, I guess.
The tough thing about boxing in heaven is both people kind of win. It's like a Rocky situation where you've done your best and that's a win for you.
Well, I think that people in heaven get to box people who've been sent to hell. They send them up for a couple hours, and the really truly hellish part is like, hey, I graduated. I'm not in hell anymore. I'm in heaven. What? Boom, 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 boom. And then you get sent back down.
Right, you get like a big, meaty heaven guy, maybe
Right.
a virtuous general, and they pair him up against a very sinful orphan. Somebody who's really got it coming and doesn't have a right hook.
It's nice to just get out of hell for a day, though. Just
That's
a little
true.
Well, that's
excursion.
part of the. Then you're sent back, so it's like double hell.
Oh,
Kind of like vacation. A
Yeah.
little bit, just getting your jaw cleaned up there. There are, so like you run into a lot of recurring constituencies on here, and one of them are theological scholars for whatever reason do like Quora. I think because there's a lot of long prompts. I don't know if we have any of those here.
I'm trying to see what people are saying. One person says, no, mental challenges only. Not the sort of place where one conquers another with a lump on the head. No running in the heavens either, because you can either know about your position or be utilizing momentum and not know about position.
I was going to say that about position.
I've never heard that at all, that you can't run in heaven.
Another guy said no because you have no arms, which is another thing I haven't heard.
Wait, what?
I
missed
guess in
that
like
one.
Dragon Ball Z style heaven where you're like a floating little cloud.
That guy's famously running a lot.
Oh, Goku?
Yeah.
Well, they let him keep his body
Okay.
because he's so good at fighting specifically. We cannot talk about Goku today. It's not that kind of show.
But yeah, I've never heard that you can't have arms in heaven. That seems like unfair. You should
I
be allowed to.
love my
I think
arms.
they mean like
a gun.
military.
Oh, sure. You can't bear arms.
Oh, so then double boxing, like everyone's boxing
gotta
to settle
fight.
disputes.
Right. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
If there's any sort of territorial issue.
I love that.
heaven.
We have a lot of like gladiatorial.
And you know who
prompts
the
on
ref
here.
is?
Who is it?
Gandhi.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I assume he's taken the time to learn the rules while he's up there.
Marquis. What is it? The rules of old rules of
Boxing.
The Marquis of
I do not know this term, but I would love to learn it.
Marquis of whatever Estonbury. Those are the rules.
They're classical challenges.
I do like the idea that Gandhi just gets really into watching boxing matches after death.
Get him! Knock him out!
No one was happier than him about the advent of UFC.
Yeah.
Finally, legs are in play.
He really likes just the XFL. He doesn't watch any the NFL or anything.
He loves stomping. He doesn't like that
fan of
UFC
the,
just allowed stomping.
Toronto Argonauts. Canadian football league.
Let me see. One guy says, in contemplating the intersection of passion and readiness, one finds the potential for experiencing sports. Yet, in the vast expanse of the spiritual realm, Its possibilities far surpass those of earthly existence, rendering such occurrences not just possible, but inherently probable.
So this is a theological scholar, though.
What an asshole that guy is. Fuck you with that kind of
He
answer.
lives
Just
in
say yes or
Toronto.
no.
He has 1 million Quora views. Respect on that. Respect on that, Chief. That's a lot of
That's
Quora.
pretty good, man.
Coordinator at Universal Peace Foundation. That's one of the top foundations there is. Conceptually.
I don't like this guy. I don't like that he gave such a wordy answer.
What's your problem?
Me?
He studied for years to answer a heaven boxing question.
I don't feel like I know.
And you disrespect him?
I do disrespect him.
Well, it's your choice, but
All right, let's read one more, or another one or two. This next question is: Satan is who I was previously in another life. Does that mean he is dead, or am I the reincarnation?
so this one's a riddle. Sometimes they're riddles.
There's a lot of like confused, like demon
Satanists?
hunting people. Yeah, there are Satanists, but also like witches and stuff like that. A lot of people asking for like witch advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dark magics.
A lot of good. There's like, a lot of witches will qualify their, like I'm a witch, but I'm a good witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the good kind.
Okay, so Satan is who I was previously in another life. That's prompt 1.
People who think about like who believe in like previous lives, I feel like always get so, I don't know, confident about who they were before.
Yeah, you're never just some fucker, you know?
Yeah. You weren't just like a surf.
Often they will do that. They will say,
Yeah.
like, I was a dental assistant in the 20s, and before that, I grew tulips in Holland in the early 19th century. Before that, I definitely, was a baker in Sri Lanka.
Have you found, though, I feel like somewhere in the list is like, and I was also Alexander the Great. But then I was shoveling shit for the Pharaoh
Not trying to
for
brag.
70 years until an elephant stepped on me. That was a tough one.
Yeah, before that I was Lucifer, the fallen angel.
Yeah, Lucifer is a stretch.
He's not dead,
In
is he?
another life?
And if you believe in
What are you talking
the devil,
about? I don't know how to even talk to these people.
you grew up Catholic, Alex.
I did, and that's why I'm so offended right now. It's just spiritually. Because the thing about Satan is he's kind of the goat of sin. And so for you to claim that is like a real mantle for you. It's a high honor. I mean, an evil honor for sure, but still like a pretty big one.
Also kind of funny to be a Catholic and believe in reincarnation. Those don't go together, right?
Yeah, you can chop and screw it.
If you're writing on Quora,
Yeah, fair enough.
it's all made up. It's all silly.
If you're having the initial psychotic break to write the question,
Yeah.
reincarnation is now in play. And given that, I would say, so does that mean he is dead or I am the reincarnation? I would say if you were him before that, you are the reincarnation. I would say a powerful soul like that isn't just switching out.
There you go. There's the answer.
There you go.
Do with it what you will.
One of these questions answer starts with history lesson.
Sure.
So that could be a good place.
History
to start.
lesson. Satan's image and identity was stolen from the highly revered earth god Pan.
I didn't know that. History lesson.
Well, everything was, all of Christianity is cobbled together from
Yeah.
different prior religions, like all of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of that movie where they start by disproving God and then they go into like the Fed is a like
Paul Blart?
it's Paul Blart.
Paul Blart.
It's in the second act of Paul Blart. Really great movie. Check it out. Really funny stuff.
Pitch Perfect 3.
Yeah, you thought they lost it at 2? They're back again.
That was mostly about the Fed, I think.
I can't believe I'm spacing on the name of this movie. This killed me.
Are you talking about Zeitgeist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus. And we have clarified on the show that does mean time ghost.
Yeah, that's right. In German.
Update your Quorators lore. Get the Wikipedia page updated.
Is that
there's
true?
one-
Zeitgeist means
Time ghost. Yep.
I think like literally, right? As in like what Geist is ghost.
Yeah, it's a German word.
Zeit is time.
Yeah. Sometimes Germans just get together and they cook up words. It's kind of like their
It's a
rap
good word.
cipher. Yeah.
I don't know why it means why it means zeitgeist, but
Well, of the time, the thing of the moment.
Sure.
And I guess you can look back in a ghostly way, I suppose. You can look back at the zeitgeist of the times.
What do you want to know? It's a word. Words.
I like it. I'm on board. Props to the Germans for having come up with it.
They deserve your respect.
They came up with Schadenfreude, which
That's true.
isn't a word in a lot of languages have, but it's a perfectly
It's a good one.
good word.
They have a lot of them that are just like 3 words put together, and they're like new word, sucking your own dick, and it's like
Sure.
that. That's
Yeah,
just
it's called the compound
We also say
word, and
that.
we have that. As
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for them, it's a compound word.
Come
Sucking
on
your own
now.
dick.
Come on now, folks.
well. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out.
You know what? We walked him an hour in. It's pretty good. Okay, let's do one more question and close out on this.
Okay. Let's do this last animal one.
Okay, sure. All right, so we're going to move into our animal segment here, as long as we're learning facts. This is Quora Gone Wild.
Okay. This is our last question. Who's the most sexual animal? I'm gonna have to go with rabbits.
Who? Who is the most sexual?
Who is it?
Who?
It's not me.
Who is the most sexual animal?
Yeah.
I'm normal.
Richard Gere.
Yeah, it's some rock and roll guy probably.
Yeah. This is like written in the parlance of like a children's book where it's like, what does the cow say? Who
Can
is
you-
the most sexual animal?
Can you find the most sexual animal?
It is the bunny.
That's right, it's Slash. He pops out of the book.
Yeah.
Could be
It's a
good.
book.
Could be good. If you were going to go for what is the most sexual animal, I still say man.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Thank
I
you
don't
for
know.
backing me up on that. I agree.
I'm gonna go with Mayfly.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do they mate a lot? Are they like the bonobos of flies?
I have no idea.
But the way they do it.
There's an answer here that says it's not animal, but apart from humans, dolphins is most sexual.
Dolphins is
Is-
most sexual.
And not an
Dolphins
animal.
is most sexual.
Who is most sexual animal? Dolphins is most sexual. Thank you for asking.
Asked and answered. It's dolphins. Not an animal, but it is dolphins.
They're wrong for this one.
Hey man, who's the most sexual animal? Oh man, dolphins is.
They go on to say every animal or creature has a particular time to have sex, but dolphins are just like human beings. They have sex whenever they want.
I can't help but notice that even in the Dolphins answer, we're shouting out human, which does kind of back up my thing.
Who is the rapiest animal?
Yeah, it's true. Dolphins do.
Dolphins is a rapiest.
They're up there. They're certainly up there.
They don't like consent. They understand it and they disagree.
Nikhil Sharma says not peacocks, apparently.
I think that's actually true, right? They have trouble mating, I think.
Written kind of in a disappointing tone.
This is the guy who tried to fuck a peacock.
Well, take it from me, peacocks don't like sex.
Bunch of
I will not
prudes.
make that mistake again.
Not an expert, but I have tried to fuck one peacock.
Somebody wrote like 2,000 words.
Yeah, this guy, Kevin Thompson, said, are you talking about simply having sex, / are you talking about being the most overtly obvious about sex? Or are you talking about making offspring? And then he just keeps going.
What a waste of fucking time.
What do you want to know?
I mean,
Answer the
everything.
question.
The fucking question, the answers, the taking the time, this podcast, everything is just
Now,
a
David.
monumental.
I respectfully disagree. I learned so much today.
What do you think we should be doing?
Both of you?
Yeah.
Volunteer work, soup kitchen.
Okay, that could be good.
Helpful. And then we ask them the questions.
Yes, you do a podcast with them. You ask them the question, but you're serving soup.
Yeah, who's
this
the
You
too
go,
much
hey,
soup?
do you want soup or not?
Just say one animal.
Should soup be cold?
What's the most sexual soup? Don't say clam chowder or matzo balls.
We hear
That's
it
a good
too
one too.
much. All right, well, I think that's enough for this
That's
episode.
enough. It's time for my nap.
I am gonna take off.
Let's close this down. David, thanks so much for coming on the show. Where can our listeners find you at home and abroad?
My address is go to officialdavidcross.com. What was that?
Oh, that says Quorators at the end. A robot did that.
Nice AI.
I know a robot.
Chatbot. Officialdavidcross.com will have all my appearances. I got a couple in New York. Big show, August 8th, Summer Stage, Central Park. I go out, start on tour in mid-September. A lot of America, some Canada, some Europe.
All right, cool. Be sure to check that out. You never know what kind of hotel accommodations David will have on this tour. If you would like some more of our show every Thursday, we have bonus episodes on patreon.com/Quorators where we go on other websites. Last week we went on Blind, which was Quora but for business people. It was really upsetting.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We've been on Nextdoor, Reddit. Go check that out. We do have to end with a question, which we decided at the beginning would be about Bigfoot. What do you want to ask?
Do you have a quick question you want to ask Quora?
Oh,
I know we were jamming just does Bigfoot exist, which is a great place to start.
I'm trying to think of something that will bait people. That will
Sure, yeah.
How old is Bigfoot?
Okay.
People will take that seriously and with a 2,000 word
Yeah, I think so.
about a thing that doesn't really exist.
There are a lot of people who specialize in this kind of thing on here, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, that's going to be us for this week. Until next week, question everything.